Good morning, Karatbars family, Breakfast Club family. How are you today? This is Mark Stevens for your host, Joe Shoup. Top of the morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Had a kind of rainy weekend, but it's a mixture of rain and sun today. But you know what? We have a great opportunity today to change their life. We have a great opportunity today to show people how to get their financial house in order. We have a great opportunity to show people who want to have a successful business from home. We have a great opportunity to show them how to communicate properly, and we have a system to go along with it. And all we have to do is what? Go to work. Isn't it great that you have an opportunity to go to work for yourself? Don't have to deal with a supervisor from hell. Don't have to deal with anybody on your back, but just deal with developing your business and doing it in the proper manner, in a professional manner. And that's what we do here. And I am delighted to be able to be a part of it. So I hope you feel the same way. I do want to make this announcement. Well, Joe, how you doing this morning, Joe?
Good morning, Mark. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Let me just say this before I turn it over to you. Everyone, remember, don't expect notices. If you don't get a notice, which you probably won't be, you just go to thebreakfastclub.ws. And guess what? You'll be able to get into the broadcast. So, and also tell your people that. It's very simple. Just go into thebreakfastclub.ws and you'll be right in here with us, and we can just move on throughout the morning. So, Joe, with that being said, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, well, let me make a few announcements about that as well, because until recently, I guess, I certainly didn't understand that if we didn't actually get the call open at roughly 5 of, you would hear a recording when you went in. That wasn't a glitch. It is intended to be that way. So my apologies for my lack of understanding of opening the call at a minimum of maximum, I should say, at 5 of. I should have done that each morning. And normally we did do that. But once again, if you come in and get a recording, that means the call has not been opened yet. So we made that commitment to make sure we were open at 4 of again, which we are today. That being said, in a few minutes, we're going to make an announcement about a kind of a restructuring of the Breakfast Club. So pay attention and stay with us so we can give you that information. Let me also say that on Thursday night, Max, if you want to type in the information for me, and let me know what time Thursday night, not Monday, Thursday night. And we're sending that notice. An email will be going out today to lots of people regarding a computer class, Computer 101. Remember, the Breakfast Club is part of AdTech Worldwide. AdTech Worldwide is an educational format that we developed. And it consists of the Breakfast Club, where we get education, the communication class, where you learn how to speak properly and learn what it is, how to communicate with people properly when you're trying to build your business and trying to find the interested parties. And this computer class is for people who either want to refresh or learn something new, or people that don't know enough about maneuvering around your computer. This is a basic class to learn things, tasks on your computer, so that when you go to perform a task such as send an email with a blind carbon copy, you understand. And you don't have to call somebody or send it out with everybody else's name in the carbon copy and everybody sees that person's name and all those emails. You can't do that in business. You have to do that in a blind carbon copy. And for those that don't know how to do it, that's part of the class. You learn various things, how to maneuver around your computer. And that class is at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. p.m. Eastern. And the price of the class is $15.99. So make sure that you register when you see this. Mark and I are both registering for it. We're not asking Max to give it to us free. He's put a lot of time and effort into building the slides and deciding which was the best thing for this first class. And then there'll be an advanced class for those that want to learn more tasks, more important tasks, or more intricate tasks. So that will be going out today. Please look for that. And what else? That's it on that. So teaching the essential ideas of computer basics for zero prior experience audience, or people who have experience that want to refresh and maybe learn some more things. You're going to be able to type in the chat box. You're going to be able to talk during this conversation with Max. We'll be there for support as well. But again, you'll go through it. Max, how long is that class? Is it 1 hour? Type that in for me so people know. But I encourage you to go to that class and support this cause. Here's why. You should at least attend this first class. In that class, if you have a new person that comes in that needs help on their computer, you'll be able to tell them what that class is about, because we'll continue with this class periodically. So I encourage you to do that. You'll have new people asking you things, and you'll be able to guide them to the class. You'll be able to tell them what's taught in that class and how important it is for them to learn that. Over the years, I know I have, I'm sure a number of you have as well, spent lots of time with people who have called you about, maybe sending an email out and not knowing how to put a picture inside of the email. You get a message from the Breakfast Club and you'll see the AdTech Worldwide logo in there. That doesn't get just cut and paste. There is a certain way to insert that picture so it's stable. And you need to learn how to do that if you're going to send a picture of yourself at the bottom, at the closing, the signature. So things like that. So don't forget about that. It is Thursday night, 8 p.m. It's 1 hour. It will be exactly 1 hour, not about an hour. It'll be exactly an hour. It'll start at 8 prompt and will end at 9. So if you have any questions during the week, write them down. If things you want to learn and you don't understand, and you can type those in the chat box on Thursday night. Well, Mark said it, what we do is educate people. And in my opinion, Mark, the most important thing that people have to understand is their activity, because you can never manage results. You can only manage the activity. We teach that in the class. And in order to have activity, you have to understand what you're doing, what your objective is. So each day when your day starts and you're saying, okay, what do I do for my Carrot Bar business today or my XYZ business today? What is it that I am doing? What should I be doing? And what times have I allotted for that? So assuming you're going to go to work, let's say at 12 noon each day, Eastern, if you're in the Eastern time zone, or what activity are you performing? And as we just talked about, if you're new, and honestly, if you've had enough experience in the past that you're skilled in communication and you know how to make that phone call and pick it up and you're not afraid of rejection and you really know what you're doing, then you'll be able to dial that phone. But my experience is that probably 90% of the people in this industry really don't know how to pick up the phone and talk sense to somebody and have it make sense. I'm getting emails from someone that is talking about, and I know this person well, and they're with this other company, and and I know they're not making any money over there. Zero money. I mean, probably not even enough to purchase their product. And yet they chose a program to send out an automatic invitation letter to their company, and it's about making money. Are you making enough money? Something like that. And it's mind-boggling to me. Just think about that for a minute. This is a person making very little money. And now he's sending out an email asking people, are they making enough money in network marketing? And he's offering the information on how to do it. So, Mark, I wanted you to comment on that a little bit. What do you think about that? Is that something you see throughout this industry?
Yeah, I do. I see it a lot. And the thing is that it's just another marketing piece for them to try to get something to happen. But the bottom line is you have to get the proper training to know what to do. Because I assure you, if they got a response to that and they had to get on the phone with that person, they would probably lose them very quickly. What if the person says, well, are you making any money? What are they going to answer?
They're going to say, here's what they're going to say. If they're honest, they're going to say, no, I'm really not. But I belong to this company for a couple of years now. I'm not really making any money. But I found this program where I can send it out and find out if you want to make money.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to teach you.
Yeah, well, that don't sound so good to me. Does not.
The only logical answer that's in their mind, whether they say that or not, obviously they wouldn't say that, but they'd be jumping and skipping all around.
Yeah.
So,
Or they would lie. Or they would lie. They would say, yes, I am. You know, well, how much? Well, you know, that could actually turn out not to be such a good, conversation.
Well, the point is that you have to know what you're doing here. Your objective when you pick up the phone, let me put that question in there. Let's see, you've been to the class. So what is the purpose of every phone call? Let's see how many people jump in here and answer that question as we move along. So there is a purpose every time you make a phone call. If you're new here and you've not been to the class, to the communication class, and you want to answer that, go ahead. And I will not say who said the answers here unless we find the right one. But what is the purpose of every single phone call when you pick up the phone? Even when you're calling another affiliate, there's still a purpose to the call. And it's not about talking about how do you do this or how do you do that. So let's just take it in the realm of a prospect, though. You're calling someone that answered your ad, saw your website, you bought a list, and you called them up. What is the objective? What are you supposed to be doing with that phone call? I mean, what is the objective before you hang up? What should you be doing? Let's look in the chat box and see. Marilyn says the clock is running, but nothing is showing. What does that mean? Marilyn, no, people are on here and live and it is running, so you might have to go out and come back in. So I don't see any answers in the chat box yet. What is the purpose of the phone call? So anyway, if you understand that, then picking up the phone, you have something to do during the call. It's not just, the steps to it, which is the introduction and the reason you called, what you want them to do. It's not just that in the beginning. But if you don't know how to answer the questions when they are asked of you, no way. There's no way you're going to be able to be successful here. And it's obvious by the numbers that, thanks, David. There you go. I'm just going to take the first one, whether anybody answers or not. That's right. It's to set another appointment, period. End of story. Yeah, there's Andrea. Set the appointment. Same thing. or get them to a director. And you still, after that, should set the appointment, because let's assume it's the first contact you have with them and you need them to look at something. So you have them look and you set an appointment to go back to see if you're on the same page. If you are already saw something and you're now trying to move them over to a director, then after the director call, again, it is to set an appointment, do the registration, get them registered, and set another appointment for what? To get them on the right track and get them onboarded properly. So these steps, I suggest you write down your steps for, what it is you're achieving every day or trying to achieve every single day. Your day, what does it look like? And in order to do that, again, we educate people on how to do that. And in my opinion, if you don't do that, you're going to have nothing but blue dots everywhere, because people will come in excited. I had a group, Mark, come in, I don't know, a year ago from my upline who, told me that they don't need any help. They don't need to go to the Breakfast Club. They don't need to have any classes. These are real professional people who know how to go build this, and, they're just going to control them. Well, this is 52 people later, a year later, a little over a year now. They came in initially, a handful of VIP, or I guess silvers and golds and some VIPs, and they're all gone. Every single person in that group is gone today. Everyone. Now, this is just a lesson to be learned here for uplines, because those people didn't know what to do. They're old-fashioned networkers. Nothing wrong with that if you know how to do that. Well, I shouldn't say nothing wrong with it. I do think something's wrong with it. You really have to communicate, have an objective, learn how to have the phone call instead of talking about the weather in, Idaho or somewhere. It's an objective here. You have to set another appointment to find out if you're on the right page or not, and continuing to be on the right page. And this whole group, Mark, is gone, as you know. Whole group. Every single one of them has disappeared into darkness. And some of them are VIPs with a couple thousand, and none of them are buying gold. Why? Because they're not educated. They did the same thing they did in another company, brought their friends, brought their contacts, and when they weren't making money, they left. Because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to teach their downline how to make a phone call even. So educating people was our first priority. When Mark and I first got together, it was about education. Wanted Mark, along with a bunch of people, to go through that class to get our minds straight. And of course, that's what happened. And those that have gone through the class, they get it. They understand what happens to them, what happened before and what's happening now. Now, I don't know how many people are following Mark after the class. Everybody's excited. And they're all going to do, but I don't know. I don't know how many people really are, continuing to use the language. We can't hear them on the phone. We don't know what they're doing. But after you've been through the class a few times, I'll bet you can't stump Andrea. She's been through the class probably 4 or 5 times. But I'll bet you can't stump her on a phone call. I'll bet you if you ask her how much money you make and she has the answer, or what's your company do, or how long have you been here, or what do I do next, and what does your company want me to do, I'll bet she has all the answers. And if she doesn't have them, just at the tip of her tongue, she certainly has them in front of her. And I bet she's got them on the tip of her tongue anyway. And I know there's a bunch of people like that. It's called preparation. You can put the best baseball team on the planet together, all the all-stars, and put them on the field. But if you don't prepare for the game, for the season with those people, you're not going to win. Yankees try to do that every year, put the best players, high-priced, but they don't win the championship every year. And I'm not saying they're not prepared. It's just, it's part of the game. You have to be prepared for the phone call so you're not afraid. And that is the biggest problem that I see in teaching and communicating and building a business is communication. And Mark, I read over and over again. I get emails from companies every day, from companies teaching communication, teaching people. And, you know, we all have our own methods. But I see it all the time, that the key to it all is educating your people, being prepared. So I encourage you to rethink some things. If you're not making the money that you want to make and you're just starting out, you know, to map out your plan. Maybe you need to retake the class. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to a refresher course with it. I don't know. But I do know that those who are prepared are the ones who, A, are not afraid to pick up the phone and are having activity every day. And I know people, I could name them right now, the people that are doing that. Bob's one of them, Bob Coons. Gunnar, the same thing every day. I talk to these people, so I know that they're working. I know what they're doing. But you better be prepared. And to go back to that scenario of sending out information, telling people something that you're not doing yourself, or you're not, I mean, the email I talked about going out about making money, when if you are going to talk about money to people and you're not making money, you better be prepared with the answer. And guide people to the right thing. I don't know many classes out there, Mark, that can teach you the skills of communicating properly and getting you to feel comfortable like it is in our class. So we're going to make an announcement in a few minutes, but Mark, I don't know if you want to comment on that. Look, preparation is the key here. Prepare yourself. That doesn't mean you spend a month in preparation, although that's not a bad idea. If you're stumbling and you don't know exactly what direction to go in, maybe take the class again and then start over. And start looking at this from a business perspective. And I suggest you do it quickly. We are running into the summer months of very low response in recruiting. Doesn't mean you stop, but you're going to get a much lower connection rate because people are on vacation and they're thinking about vacation. They're not thinking about Christmas and the holidays and making more money. It's just natural. It's a natural segment we go through. Now is the time to put the pedal to the metal, they say. Put your foot on the accelerator and spend a couple of hours a week, at least, calling people, learning the communication skills, learn what the objective is, learn how to get them to a director, find a director who knows how to interview that person, learn how to onboard them. That's in Tools Rock. Learn how to onboard properly. It is all in the Tools Rock educational format. It's called the AdTech I guess it's even called the AdTech Worldwide Educational Vault. It's in Tools Rock. So I'm just always big on learning, Mark, and just learning. And that's what we need to do. So if you want to say a few things, then we're going to make these announcements.
Yeah. I get about at least 250 emails a day. I would say about 7, maybe 8% of those emails are quote unquote so-called and called gurus. And what I'm noticing now is that they're starting to change their tune. They're not necessarily even promoting their product anymore, but they're now promoting platforms of marketing systems to contact people, systems to work with people and to educate people. They're doing it in a system. So the thing is that they're learning that the product is not necessarily it. It's good to have a great product, and we have one. But the thing is that if you're not educated, in marketing, if you're not educated in how to connect with people and onboard people, if you're not educated in if you remember, Jennifer came on the Breakfast Club one day and she talked about high tech and high touch. Guess what? I'm starting to see that from a number of gurus now, and I wasn't seeing that at first. So they're starting to learn a thing or two, because you know what? The income is going down because now they're finding that it's not just about the product or pushing a product, but you got to have education in order to do it properly, to really make some decent money. So that says it right there, Joe.
Yep. Okay, let me remind you once again, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, you will be getting emails all week long regarding this class. So register for the class and get in there and see what's being taught on Computers 101. And that's 8 p.m. You'll get the email. There'll be a registration there. Be on time. Get questions prepared here. This is a basic foundational Computer 101 to operate your business effectively, learning how to do all those things. Don't forget to look at that, or remember to look at the emails each day. We will be sending those. Okay, number 2, Mark and I are taking a vacation. Here's what that means. It means that we will be communicating. The reason for it is we are changing over the platform. We need the platform has been changed. We may not even see the change when we go here to Webinar Jam in the future. All we know is this platform here is about to become non-existent when we enter it. So what has to be done is all the information has to be transferred over to the new platform, which I will be working on all week. We don't want any foul-ups or mix-ups of opening the old one, not being able to get into the new one. On top of that, we are working on another project, and here, with not just Webinar Jam, but AdTech Worldwide, which we'll be testing throughout the week. So the announcement is we will not have the Breakfast Club until next Monday morning, starting tomorrow. However, you'll be getting emails regarding the class and other topics, but again, there will not be a Breakfast Club for the next 4 days. Tuesday, I know it's listed. If you've registered, we're going to go take that down right now. That will be off. So when people go in there, there'll be the new registration will be for next Monday. So don't do that for a couple of hours because we're in on the platform now. Things are changing. Don't register or have anybody register for any Breakfast Clubs until next Monday. And you won't see that registration form up until probably 3 p.m. Eastern today. So our suggestion is that you go in each weekend and register for the entire week so that you're not registering each morning. Register for every one of the Breakfast Clubs starting next week, including tomorrow night, Anson Ashby's Facebook class. We are bringing more guests. We've assembled contributors to the Breakfast Club, regular contributors plus special guests. One of the things we are restructuring. And so you can expect to see different people next week on the Breakfast Club. Some people you've already seen. You will see them there. We've asked them to be part of a contributor, a team of contributors. And other ones will be specially announced guests. Some of them will be within Karatbar. Some of them will be outside of Karatbars, people that educate. And so we're putting that together. So obviously we're not leaving the Breakfast Club. We're improving it so that we have, all the topics covered. So with that, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, there will be a link sent out. It goes to the people who belong to Tools Rock. Anson sends it out. You should see the registration. It goes out and you can get on there. When I get the notice tomorrow, I will send it out as well. For those that are not in Tools Rock, you can go watch questions and answers and see why it's important to be with Tools Rock. The real importance to us for Tools Rock is that you start your business off right, because in there are instructions on how to run your business. Everything from instructions to websites you can use, invitation letters you use in what are called autoresponders, which I like to refer to as automatic invitation letters. Contact manager. So all that stuff is learned tomorrow night. It is also Anson runs that class on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. and Thursday afternoon at noon. It's all Eastern times. So you have Anson Ashby Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And Tuesday is specific to Carrot Bars. So you can ask all kinds of questions about those particular sites. But on Wednesday and Thursdays, it's generic. Wednesday night at 9, Thursday at noon. So with that, we are at the bottom of the hour. If you have any questions on the chat box, go right ahead.
And Joe, while we wait on that, for those that have questions, what I also would suggest is that previous Breakfast Club recordings, you may want to go back and review some. Refreshing.
Very good.
That's something else. And you can also send some of you got a new affiliate or whatever, send that person there as well, because they can get educated by reviewing some of the previous Breakfast Club. And then when we come back on the new platform, it's going to take it to a whole new nother level. That'll be even more. So remember, we say we're always going to be evolving and always going to be trying to improve what we do and to help you improve and help us all improve. It's about all of us. It's not about just Joe and myself. It's about all of us. So that's why we work as hard as we do to make these things available and possible, because we all want to be successful. And I'm going to keep saying it. I want to see those that really chime in and do this. I want to see how you look at yourself a year from now. That's what I'm just anxious to see, because I know what can happen and will happen if you do the right things. I know that.
Here's what we're going to be doing today and for the rest of the week and for the rest is making contacts. That's my suggestion to you, is to sit down and pull out your paper that says, who will I be calling today? You should really if you really want to excel, talk to 10 people every day. And I say talk, I don't mean leave a message. I don't mean speak to the spouse and say, I called. I mean to literally pick up the phone, speak to them, and find out. Get 10 people. Either they have looked at your information by way of a website, or you are connecting with them to go look at a website or a piece of information. We prefer people to go to what was formerly called the 12-week financial freedom plan. It is now has a new URL called AdTech Gold. The other one is the adtechworldwide.net. It's a business presentation. It is about getting your financial house in order. It's much larger than just talking about gold and how to set up a gold savings account. It's different. It's totally different. If you want to see it, go to the website. Go to joeshoop.adtechworldwide.net. If you haven't seen it, go there. Watch it for 35 minutes, and you'll see that how different it really is. And you'll be able to understand what we're getting at here, which is not just buying gold. It is about putting your house in order so that you can make a difference in people's lives, and you can make a difference in your own life. So,
hey, Joe,
to recap.
Before you finish that, let me just say this right quick, being that you mentioned that. Let me tell you what's happening. There's so many things happening in the world and in the country, and this is why I say that we need to help change the world, and we can if we work together. Here's another thing. This presentation, this AdTech business presentation is so pertinent as to what's happening. There are some top people in the financial world around the world are starting to latch on to Karatbars because of what we have to offer. And the thing I'm trying to say is that it all revolves around our business presentation as well. In other words, some of the big guns, if like people like to call them, you know, gurus in the financial world, and they're looking at Karatbars and they're saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm doing it on another level, but I can now do it on another level that will help everybody out." Some people deal in a total different world than we live in. But what I'm saying is that these are people that are going to come to Karatbars and they're going to make it better and greater, which is going to make the opportunity greater. So my point is this: you need to start showing that business presentation, because there's so much in there that applies to everyday living and that people need it. Like I said, the millennials and the baby boomers, they're having trouble, and all they have to do is see that presentation and they can see what it is, and they can also see the solution because that's in there also. But what they need to take care of the solution is a person to guide them to the solution. And who might that be? I think that might be us. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. Let me read this to you. This might help people know where we're going here. I think it's said, but in a different way. And this is part of the educational center, AdTech Worldwide Educational Center. Putting your finances in order is one of the best ways to start planning for your retirement. Now, you could be planning for other things, but for those that are looking out into the future, you know, I can tell you, I remember, Mark, a long time ago being 30 years old. And it came up so fast, retirement age for me. You know, when you start hitting 50 and above, you start thinking retirement. Do I have enough money? So that's what I'm talking about in this first paragraph. Putting your finances in order is one of the best ways to start planning for retirement. At AdTech Worldwide, we can help you organize your savings and investments. Keep that. That's for people who do investments, specialty people. So that's not all of us affiliates. So when the time comes, you'll have the money set aside for the things you want to do, like taking the road trip, volunteering, or simply spoiling your grandkids. Isn't that what it's all about? Start today. Be ready tomorrow. Get organized at AdTech Worldwide. Start today. Right? Be ready tomorrow.
I like that. In fact, I love that. Start today, be ready tomorrow. And Joe, I see a question there from Deborah C. Address that question, because it's right on time.
I'm so happy to see Deborah. I think that's Deborah Coulter, is it, Deb? Can we have a webinar to present your presentation to new? Okay, that's exactly that's one of the things we're working on all week. We're making sure that the new platform can support that, okay? So yes, we can. And that's what we are planning on. We've been working on that. In fact, we have a meeting in about an hour to go over and to do a run-through on Webinar Jam to make sure that that's functional and that it's functioning properly. So yes, we can. And we had thought we were going to do that starting last week, but we ran into some bumps and we're smoothing out the bumps right now. But we will. What will happen is you will be able to come back with the Breakfast Club. We will hang up from the Breakfast Club, and at 12 noon each day, or specific days, we will have that presentation, and then again at night. And people will see the exact presentation over and over and over again. So we'll bring people to that. You'll want to bring business people to that. You'll want to bring people to it. You might want to bring your kid, your grandkid in their 20s and 30s to say, you better pay attention. You better pay attention, because when you get out to retirement and you're looking at, 2% of the people have it already, you're going to be part of that struggling what to do group. It doesn't seem that important when you're 25 or 30. Other things take priority, but our message is to have it make sense and make it a priority, so that a certain amount, doing dollar cost averaging, teaching people how to do that. And you can do that with gold.
And Joe, let me say this too. Also invite those of you that have personal financial planners, insurance agents, car insurance agents, invite those people to see the presentation. They may end up in your Karatbars organization. I'm telling you, do that.
Don't come back here next week either by yourself. You have an entire week to bring people back to the Breakfast Club and to bring them to those presentations. It's time to really go to work, meaning that you are talking to people, connecting with people, and inviting them to an educational format. Because most of these people you bring in, they don't have a clue what to do. They don't. To take the example of the group they put under me that they didn't want in the Breakfast Club. Take that as a clear sign. These people who all knew what to do, and the gurus who put them there, yeah, they were going to do all this wonderful stuff. Don't even worry about that leg, Joe. Watch it explode. Well, a year later, there were 52 people in that leg, of which I and others already in Karatbars put some of those people there. So trust me, education is the key. Be prepared so that you can teach people to and point them in the right direction to be prepared. It only makes sense. And get in that class during this whole week. Why don't you take the refresher course? $29? You got to be kidding. Take the class. You can take it at your own convenience for $29, whatever, $30. You can get in that class. Get some of the people around you in there so that you're prepared. You really know what to do and say, or just go over the notes that you already have from the class. I suggest you go back in, like Mark says, and listen to the AdTech Worldwide presentation every day. Listen, you'll learn more and more and more. Go back to the class. You'll learn more and more and more. Ask Andrea. She's been to that class more than anybody. And like I said, I'll bet she doesn't get stumbled on the phone.
Another thing, listen to the presentation. Those, and especially those of you that are in Tools Rock already, you have the scripts from the class. Listen to the business presentation. Look at your scripts, put them together, and see how you can learn how to answer the questions. And I challenge you to go out, invite an accountant, invite a CPA, invite your insurance agent or whatever to take a look at the presentation, and then call them back what you've learned in the communication class, see what their level of interest is on a scale of 1 to 10.
By Monday, it is now Monday, right? Looks like to me it's the 20th. By next Monday, put a new person in. Be able to come back next Monday and say, I registered a new person at Karatbars. We've got them into Tools Rock. We've got them scheduled for the class, or they've already taken the class. I am working 1 week, 7 days to go get a new person and bring them in, a brand new person. And invite one of your downline into Tools Rock, the education, communication class, the Breakfast Club, and the new presentation, which will probably be starting next Monday at noon. So these are our plans. This is where we're going. We're just trying to improve and give people more of a chance, and we think we're doing that. So with that, have a great day, everybody. Go to work. Go write the things down you need to get done, the things that you want to accomplish between now and Monday. Work it on a daily basis. Just go to work and do it. Don't let anything get in the way. Put everything aside, and 1 week. Watch what happens if you go after it for 1 week and make 5 contacts every day. People that committed to watching a presentation or going or have already watched a presentation. Commit to at least 5 of those a day for the next 5 to 7 days. And bring a new person Monday back to the Breakfast Club, at least be able to say, I have my new person. Let's all do that and bring the new person in next week. So with that, this is Joe Shoup and Mark Stevens here at the Breakfast Club. Pass that word on that the Breakfast Club will open up again on next Monday. The class tomorrow night with Anson, Wednesday and Thursday night at 8 o'clock with Max, and you'll be getting all that information in an email. So with that, as Mark would say, peace and blessings to all of you, and wishing you and hoping that you take advantage of the information you got today and go out and be successful. That means 1 new person in 7 days. Grab that new person, and if possible, get them a package during that 7 days. But go get that new person. Find the interested party, and we'll see you next week here at the Breakfast Club. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow at Anson's class. Have a great day, everybody.
Peace and blessings, everyone.